so long that we have not met. Yeah, I think it's been 8 years now.
8 years. So we have a special guest in our channel today. So welcome to 070, and this is my older friend Zishan Ali. Actually, we spent a couple of time together in our high school,
School days.
upper middle school, right? For a ninth and 10th, it would be more specific. So Zishan was my coaching mate, and we have been meeting him for after a long time. So from his busy schedule, Rizan Bhai has taken the time
Oh,
for investing to tell us some guidelines in our channel. So it was very precious to have
oh,
this. Welcome to our channel. And
thank you so much, Sanjay.
okay,
Thank you
let's
so much.
start. The topic is today. We are going to discuss in many aspects regarding the video. Actually, this whole video is being divided into 4 to 5 parts, and actually there is no rough transcript also prepared for me and Zishan also here. We are going to just be in a normal random way so that both will be feeling
Yeah, yeah,
comfortable as we are in by nature. Okay.
of course.
Yeah, Zishan, I request you to just speak about you some few words, like share your opinion with our audience. What do you feel? How do you feel coming to our channel and all?
I think it's the first time that I ever collaborating with any of the YouTube channel, and thank you so much for
Okay,
bringing me in.
okay.
Uh, and thank you, special thanks for this so humongous introduction that you have
No, no,
given
it's
me.
not humongous. It's about the precision that you have done over the years.
Yeah, yeah. So that's okay. So yeah, man. I and Sanjeev have been friends, in my school days, in our school days, and I think Sanjeev shifted to Chennai, and after that, I don't think that ever we talked to each other. But last year only we got to connect with each other through
Yeah,
WhatsApp or
definitely.
something. Yeah, so yeah, it's been a long friendship, and recently we have been having a conversation with each other, to discuss about stuff, that what he's doing and what I'm doing. Yeah, it's really been good to talk
Okay.
to Sanjeev. So
Okay. So let's now jump on to the topic. Like actually, our base audience is our actually our channel is basically considered it's a tech channel where we
mhm.
generally focuses on tech unboxing videos and just not responding to a. It's not a very peculiar channel, but I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
keep it the context very simple according to my way. That's we follow majorly three domains. Like data science is our theme of our channel, apart from
mhm.
which I we follow is tech explanation videos and tech unboxing. And it's very glad to see that a new unboxing, it's a new product unboxing. It's not a, it's a very keen gesture for you to welcome in our channel. And in
Right.
today's topic is basically we are going to distribute the dynamics of IT industry. And
Mhm.
Dishan could easily share the personality development issues that majorly a fresher faces while during doing an interview skills. And I'll be sharing my data science experience with him. So let's begin. Starting from Zishan, how according to you, how a fresher should be in a keen development of developer from develop his attitude, his vocational skills, and etc. From a college perspective to an enterprise perspective. Can you please elaborate?
Yeah, see, Sanjeev, the first thing that I would tell you that be it in any aspect of your life, be it in any field or any domain or any niche that you're pursuing, I think
Okay.
communication is the first thing that comes into the play, right?
Okay.
Without having a good communicator, if you are a good communicator, you'll be able to put your thoughts out, and that's the best part of it. And if you remember the kind of student that I was in my school, I mean, you must
Okay.
have seen that I was so introvert, that I barely remember that I would ever perform in my school. I barely take any participation in co-curricular and stuff.
Yeah.
For the first time only, I showed up on stage and I was humiliated, I can say, by my principal for no reason. Again,
I can see that visuals. I suppose I missed that, right?
yeah, so it all started when I was about to enter my college. So I thought there has to be a change in my personality. I was all introvert. I
Okay.
thought I realized that the importance of changing yourself when it comes to communication and when it comes to showing up. These are the things. So when I entered my college, I thought that it has to be changed. So I knew that nobody is there in my college that who know about me. This Zishan is a personality,
Okay. Yeah.
personality
Sure. Sure.
who is of
So
this
there is
kind,
no judging person from you, I suppose, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that was the thing that I, had the thought at that point of time. So I
Okay.
entered the college. So right from the first day, when I was asked to introduce myself, so I was not good enough at that point of time. I was not good enough to, confident enough to, show up in front of people and tell people that, hey, I'm Zishan Ali, I'm this. I was very nervous. I was shitting my pants
Okay.
off, you can say.
Certainly, everyone
So
would just seeing a huge crowd and many of
exactly.
them would definitely face it.
Exactly. But I had this mindset, if not today, or if I had this also mindset that I might be, you know, failing in the first place, but I had this mindset that I'll be doing this because when you have something in your head that you want to be at this position, you want to be at that position, but
Yeah.
when you start striving for that. So yeah, I mean, I had seen a couple of videos on TEDx and stuff, so I had this fascination of speaking in front of stage.
Okay.
You know, yeah, so I thought that one day Zishan Ali, the speaker, will be speaking in the entire audience and stuff. So
That's
I
very
thought,
great
yeah,
to hear about it, right?
yeah. So I thought, let's do it. If you have fear of public speaking, if you are not able to face people confidently, then there's nothing else than doing it and trying it, going out there and just getting started with it. So I started with that, and gradually I started learning. I started, draining out my hesitation,
Okay.
and after after having spent 2.5 years in my college, or you can say barely 2 years in my college, now I can say that I can confidently speak in front of people.
That's why you're seeing thousands of people that are going to watch this video.
Yeah,
There,
yeah,
this is the bitter
I'll be.
Zishan's Zishant Ali's play, where the people would see you in a audience tremendous, like YouTube channel.
I'm also thinking of to get started with a YouTube channel, but see what happens. Yeah.
That
So
that
yeah, getting
that
back.
that
Yeah.
that would shape a competition for me.
Oh, the domain will be totally different. Don't worry.
No, it's just kidding. I suppose
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
see,
yeah.
the people like you actually are most welcome over the platform where the creators are most passionate about what they're doing here. Because when
Exactly.
actually there are two perspectives. When we basically see YouTube as a entertainment side, we generally doesn't know about the creator side. And once you join
Mhm.
it as a creator, you know how pacific it is, you know how pathetic, and you know how depth is visual are concerned over the YouTube channels and how the creators are struggling for still to come up and still to grow their channel. It's not about just growing. People think by starting YouTube channel you can just earn fame and all, but it's not about the fame. It's certainly about the involvement. It's certainly about the regulation that they follow. And again, it's a digital form media, so you can easily grow there. And people would have like a special person like you who definitely welcome the creators, and it will be a great pleasure to have you in a creator side rather than a customer or viewer side.
Of course, I'll try my level best to get there. Already making videos on Instagram, so I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to
I
saturate my
saw
audience there.
definitely. Okay.
So once I develop a bunch of audience out there, so I'll be definitely shifting onto the YouTube because I want larger audience to get. So
Yeah.
I'm not someone who will be covering each and everything, but whatever I know for a fact,
Yeah.
I'll be trying to share with that. Share my experiences and my
Okay.
setbacks and how did I overcome.
Okay.
Especially this personality development thing and how to get rid of your public speaking and stuff. So this is something that I think that public speaking and showing up in front of people is something that everyone should learn about. uh, as I said that when I get started with my graduation in my college, I was not good enough to even stand in front of people and say things like that. But there was something in my head that I have to speak, I have to speak, I have to become a good speaker one day, and I'll do that. And for that matter, what all I started doing is that any event happened for that matter, I would randomly raise my hand and I want to ask a question. I had nothing to do with the question that I
That's
was
the
about to
welcoming
ask.
gesture of Zishan Ali. They're starting the epic battle between you and the contradictor.
Yeah, so I had nothing to do with the question that I was about to ask, and had nothing to do with the answer that he is supposed to give me. But
Okay.
what I tried doing was that I just wanted to get rid of that fear inside of me. That can I
Okay.
speak in front of people? Can I show up in front of them? If I
Okay.
can, gradually I'll be able to eradicate my fear. So I
Yeah.
kept doing like that. And whenever something happens, I would be the first person to say that I'm gonna do that. Even I will be just ruin the entire thing, but I'll be the first person to say like I'm gonna do that because I
Okay.
want. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
we have actually we have been seeing freshers like people like us are enough like they come up like you said, some people come up with their raise their hand and some usually participate actively. But what about let's frame it in a question panel. Like I have four questions to you.
Mhm.
Step by step, we are going to proceed with
Mhm.
it. Like first question is, if I'm a
Mhm.
passive student, like I have a stage fear, I have an exceptional fears by seeing a huge crowd, by seeing a mass crowd, I don't have enough
Mhm.
courage to speak in front of them. Either I will just get fall
Mhm.
down, or that I will be apathetic nature, like my heads would be like definitely shaking. So these kind of people, how they can eradicate the fear, and how can they be active participation? How can they increase their active participation?
So like for everything that you do in your life, there's always a why. Why do you want to do that?
Okay.
Why would you like to go in front of stage? Why would you want to tell to the people? There are people who actually want to go and they are not able to go just because of the fear. But there are also people who are good at speaking, but they don't want to go because there's nothing that they want to do on stage or something like that.
Yeah.
But the majority part of the audience is that they want to do something, but they're just afraid of showing up in front of people that have this public fear and stuff. I am still among one of those. I have not still
Like,
overcome
okay.
the,
Okay.
the
Okay.
entire thing. So the question that you asked, that how to eradicate that fear, there was a line that I have learned from Grant Cardone. He's one of the uh, real estate guy in America.
Okay.
So I always keep watching. So one line that stuck to me, that was, if you want confidence in your life, do more. Did
Okay.
anything.
That's a great
For
line.
example, if you want to just I want to repeat that, if you want to get confident at anything in your life, just keep that doing more and more and more. For
More and
example, if I say that if you want to improve your typing speed, what would you do? You cannot play tennis to improve your typing speed, right? You'll be probably spend more of the time in your typing, right? If you want to develop good football skills, you'll not be playing cricket, you'll be playing football, of course, right? So if it comes to public speaking, and if you want to be good at public speaking, you have
more.
to engage and indulge yourself more into the public speaking thing. And it will never be the first, for the first time, it will never be that you will be in front of 1,000 people and you will be, speak, have a mic, and you will be announced with the name, hey, this, please welcome this and this, and you'll be supposed to speak. No, it will
Yeah.
start right from your classroom, right from your group of people, your friend circle. And if you're able to, tell something that you feel that you should be telling to them, if you're able to do that comfortably, this thing will increase, this thing will increase, and eventually you will be able to speak in front of thousands or lakhs of people one
Like
day.
it's a
That
step by
actually happens.
process, like you mean to say it.
Exactly. There is no such rockets. But one thing also I want to tell, that it also has to be in mind that why do you want to do that? If your answer to your why is very strong,
Yeah.
if answer to your why is very strong, that why do I want to speak in front of stage, right?
Okay.
Then you will
Yeah.
be more fast, have more fast learning curve. You'll be trying things out on your own. There will be no one telling you that, hey, please come and say something. If there is an opportunity, you will be the first one to ask, hey, can I speak something? You will find opportunities to show up
Yes.
irrespective of the mistakes that you're making. Anything, the major part, majority of the people are not able to speak even after the talent that they have. The reason being is that they are afraid of people's opinion, and
Yeah,
I would
actually,
give a stress
that's my
upon it.
next question to you. Actually, that forms
Yeah,
a baseline for next question is like
yeah.
people have talent. Some people recognize it. Some people have natural born talent. Some have artificially create their practice their hard, whatever they may be. But certainly, some people would definitely whatever you do, take initiative. Whatever you provide them platform, you creator. But certainly, they will hide themselves for whatsoever may be the reason. Like if I take an example of some pathetic people that come across there, like if we are going to a conference, right, there people what they do is basically they don't call by your name because they don't know who you are. But certainly by seeing a large crowd everyone panics. That's basic human nature. That's not very certain about the pathetic patient. But the people is
Exactly.
they will just sit back the crowd and they will pass the comments regarding the show, regarding the issues, rating them about negative 5 star, etc. But it my question is to be precise. Does this form a positive attitude over the presenter or over to the recruiter? Like if I am a student, like if I'm a final year student, how should I approach and how should I develop my personality skills so that I may impress not 10 recruiters. That 100 recruiters will come to me just by seeing my attitude, right kind of attitude and right kind of efficiency I'm showing towards my skills. So how can we improve this? Can you tell me, please?
Yeah. So before coming exactly to your question that how to represent yourself in front of recruiters so that you will be standing out of the 5 or the 10 people that you are a part of, right? So I'll be come to that as well. But as I said that the thing, people's opinion that always perpetuates our mind that what if I go in front of people and what would be they thinking? What if I go wrong? What if I make any of the mistakes? Would they be laughing? The thing is, uh, the time you think about people's opinion is the only time the people think about you when you're presenting. They
Okay.
are not going to give a damn about they are not going to give a damn about you once you are finished with your presentation. Like,
Okay.
I would like to tell you one thing, that imagine yourself sitting in an audience part, and hearing or watching someone is speaking or performing. So it's just think from your perspective, how much time do you remember the time how much time do you remember that person just for the time he's presenting,
Yeah.
right? And
That's
if
good.
he has done something extraordinarily, yeah, extraordinarily, then you'll be remembering after somebody, yeah, that guy, he just slayed off, yeah, like what
Yeah.
kind of form that was. Yeah. So if you see from that perspective, people are not gonna give damn about you once you are finished with that. So why
Okay.
do you think about people? You know, if you really want your fear to get eradicated out, there should be nothing to think about. For the first few speaking
Okay.
times, if I say
Like
that,
mind is the first barrier
yeah,
to eradicate our thinking, come out of.
exactly. Yeah, it's there in your head. If you'll keep thinking about people's opinion only, you will never be able to come out and say. If you
Sure.
have to speak, first eradicate that what will people think. You are already one step ahead.
Okay.
You're done with the 50% of your task. If you
Okay.
are, already eradicated that task. And once you have eradicated that, then you don't have to think about, you will not think about people's opinion, obviously,
Yeah.
right? And when it comes to speak, you'll be speaking on the topic, it might be like you're not confident enough, your English is not good enough, your pronunciation is not good enough. But without doing or without showing up, you cannot be improving that, of course, right? So you
Yeah.
have to perform that, you have to be good at that. And only way to be good at something is by practicing and by showing up more. That's the simple funda. And yeah, one thing that you asked me, that how to be standing out in front, among 5 or 10 people, sitting along with you, and you are also someone who is representing the recruiter. So one
Actually,
thing
being one
never,
among the thousands is a very difficult task for the recruiter also and for the candidate also. How to find yourself better than other person, because the people ahead of you are even better than your skills, even better than technical skills, even better than you presentation. But still, people need to hire you and come to your profile. That means you need to have an X factor among the people, X factor among the youth,
exactly.
so that you could attract yourself.
So when you're sitting in an interview, and I personally have not faced any of the interview, but I can say on the basis of things that I have done, virtual interviews, if I can say that,
Sure.
not like literally placement interviews, but I have been taken participation in a lot of things that I have that I can share with my experience. That if you're sitting among 5 or 10 students, and someone is someone to whom you're representing your thoughts, or you are representing, or you're answering to someone, first thing that matters is your confidence. It's very important thing. even
Okay.
if you are scared in Even if you are scared, you should not uh, represent, or you should not, your fear should not be projected through your face expressions, through your body language and stuff. Even if you're not, the one thing that I say, even if you're not prepared 100%, even if you're not prepared the amount that has to be prepared before coming to the examination, or before coming to the interview that you are about to sit for,
Yeah. Sure.
what matters is the confidence. It's something that can help you project whatever you have also not inside of your, because just because of the
Okay.
right, yeah,
Okay.
it
Yeah.
happens. It
Yeah.
happens. The right
I
attitude
have
and the
faced
right
it. I
confidence.
have faced it a couple of times.
Yeah, yeah. So you can actually intimidate others with your confidence. You can give it a smile, and other will be like, oh, this guy is so damn prepared. So they will be thinking about their own preparation rather than
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about what they have to speak.
right.
So to the best way to intimidate someone is by your confidence. There's no physical violence and stuff. Just show a smile and just feel confident. It will also boost, and it will also help you. It will also help intimidate others people, which eventually will clear your path to the selection and stuff.
Okay. Okay. So a very precise answer given by you. and hopefully our viewers will definitely incorporate the feedback that you have been given. So now let's proceed to the third question. Like, if you have answered both extreme situations, right? Like if I am an active student, then also you have told the solution. Passive student, you told the solution. But now, as being an average guy, like if I am a very much average guy, I don't know anything. I mean, I don't know any excel about my technology, but I know a base level of knowledge. I have a base level of experience. I'll have a base level of everything. But how these people can come in front, in spite of keeping as a hurdle by the toppers. Like many people outshine them. Many people can easily outshine them because the people who usually average are not visible because of the toppers and so-called bright students. So how an average person can, at times of attitude, at times of technical skills, can incorporate this, and how he can outshine the topper, and how he can come in front and share the views, like how to outshine and impress the recruiter for the selection of in an interview.
Yeah. So see, if you are, for example, if there are 25 people in your group and you find yourself be the mediocre one or the average one, right? And
Sure.
you all 25 are, are supposed to, appear for an interview or a test or some whatever you say, right?
Yeah.
So what matters here is the deciding factor. What are you going to be, tested for, or what are you going to be interviewed for? If I say that you're going to be tested for the technology skill, irrespective of your personality, irrespective of the communication, irrespective of how you the sole purpose of them is how good you are at your technology skills, right? So they will
Okay.
not be they will not be, obviously they will be, the main purpose will be filtering out the candidates on the basis of something that they are looking for that matter here it is technology, right? So they will be looking for the people who are actually good at technology. They will not, give a damn about who is from where and what, because if you're able to fulfill their criteria,
No, I
they will pick you up.
actually your point is right, but I mean to say my core question is, like, I'm an average student. I don't know much English. I don't know much aptitude. I don't know much reasoning. I don't know much technical, but I have a base knowledge. Now my question is how to cross the barrier line. Like let me take an example. Like there are two people, right? One is average person, one is a mediocre. Second one is very topper, and he is very bright student. The bright student will easily impress a recruiter and easily have the seat over the company because he is having extraordinary skills. But when it's come to next person, the recruiter will expect the same from the second person also, but he is not that average. He is a not bright student. Now how he should match up the attitude so that they can also get impressed and he can also get convinced through the job, as he has raised the expectation of previous candidates.
Yeah, so you're saying that the first guy is already outperformed. Now you have to match their level so that you can
Exactly.
outperform that guy and dominate over that guy so that recruiter picks you up, right?
Or it's not about dominating, at least we can match that level because recruiter will definitely expect.
Mhm. So the thing is, what I believe, I've never been in that situation. What I can say from my perspective
Yeah.
is that if
There is
you,
a difference.
if the if the recruiter is looking for, if it totally depends upon the recruiter, yeah. But if I see from the mediocre one perspective that how can I outshine that person, so whatever knowledge that I have, I will try to project that. I'll try to put it out in a different way, in a way which is so understanding for the recruiter, which is in a way so that it is very different from the ordinary ones, right? It's, when recruiter is hiring you, it's not the uh, knowledge only that he tests. He tests the way you present your knowledge.
Yeah.
He actually tests. Yeah, he actually tests the way you're solving the problem statement. What is your approach? It's not the end result always. For example, if you started from point A, two people are running. It's also seen that how have you covered the distance. It's not only the A and B point. It's also seen how have you covered the distance. So you'll also be looking at the way he's presenting, the way he's
Yeah.
projecting whatever knowledge he has gotten. It's not about you have abundance of knowledge and he's not able. Whatever knowledge you have got, be confident in whatever you know, right? And when it comes to when someone has already outshined you, you are in a situation, something called nothing to lose, because he has already performed very much better than you, than what you had thought you would be performing. So now you are in a situation where you have nothing to lose. Just give your best, have that positive mindset and attitude, present things in a different way, right? Do not copy the guy that who is sitting next to you, as you said, among the two people, right? Because it would be so, resembling, and he's already done better than you, right? So do not
Originality
copy,
always
avoid
speaks.
that. Yeah, of course, originality. Don't think that what if you compare me on the basis of that. Be different. If you have already noticed that he is outperformed, then try to be different, try to be innovative, and try to put your knowledge in a creative way, and in a bit more confident way than he has put it up. That's what. But more of the thing is that if you think you are mediocre and he has already outperformed, there are very rare chances of selection. Selecting you over that guy, because he has already fulfilled the criteria that company is looking for. But
Yeah.
still, you think that you can outperform. Attitude, confidence, and the way you present matters most.
Okay. That's so very much peculiar answer by you. Again, once again, you proved that you are a perfect person for answering those questions. And now I have a last question. Like we cover almost all the aspects of a person, like how they impress and etc. But my last question is, like there is always uncertainty. Okay, like if you are preparing for an interview, you actually there is a let's take a real case scenario. Like if you and your friend are going for an interview, the person you will be studying very hard, very thoroughly, etc. You will be preparing, etc. But the person coming with you will be in a chill mood. He'll just accompany you, but he will get a job and you will don't. This happens usually with each and every individual. Almost everyone faces, and we go into a mindset that this person will definitely come with me and we'll not get a job. And what the hate is, definitely the next interview we don't even tell him that we are going for an interview, but he'll come certainly to drop us near the office also. So like I mean to say is the nervousness, how to understand the nervousness near the in the interview factor, like how nervousness plays an important role and how to reduce it at the time of like as you have answered previously, like it's attitude, etc. But at the time of this interview, all these things fade off. etc. People say positive mindset, people also definitely it's a keen aspect, but since at the time of what is running in your mind, it creates a visual impact over the recruiter. So I mean to suggest, tell me the layman how to reduce the nervousness.
Yeah, see, you said how to reduce the nervousness. It's not only the interview thing that we people face face nervousness in. If I talk about public speaking, if I talk about anything that you think you are good at, and when it comes to present it finally, you feel nervous, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The thing is that, the thing is that before the final interview or before the actual interview that we face, uh, just remember that do we have previous experiences of facing interviews? Like if you're sitting for the fourth or fifth interview, right? You will not be that nervous that you would be in the first interview, right? Because you have already been through that process 3-4 times.
Yeah.
When you will be facing the interview for the first time, you will definitely be nervous. There's no rocket science that will come and say, "Oh, abhi nervous nahi hone ka hai." So you will be nervous for sure because you're facing that for the first time. And people who are confident in the first interview only, uh, there are definitely people for sure that their attitude is like they don't give a damn about what happens. Just they go whatever they have, whatever the recruiter is asking, and they will just put the shit out there, and they'll come. And fortunately, unfortunately, the selection depends, right?
Yeah.
But if you say that how to eradicate the nervousness, you have to indulge into the activities before you appear into the interviews. There are mock
Okay.
interviews as well. When people prepare for UPSC, right? Writing the mains exam, they prepare a lot for their mock interviews. Right? They prepare a lot for their actual interviews in the form of mock interviews, and that mock interview will be
Yeah.
similar, like same to that of the actual interview. So
Okay.
that is to prepare your mind. That is to prepare your mind for that atmosphere that is going to come ahead of you. That is going to come ahead of you, right? So if you're indulging yourself into activities like group discussions, public speaking, or something like group engagement stuff, you'll be noticing that you're less nervous than a person who is not indulging in these kind of activities. I can tell this from my experience that there are 50, 60 people in my class, and I find myself at least a bit less nervous than people who are not indulging themselves into these kind of activities.
Yeah.
The practice is the thing that you have to look for, right? Before, but there will be nervousness even if you practice. But how much have you practiced? How much intensely have you practiced? And it also depends. Like when you actually, reach out for the actual interview, you have this nervous. What will happen? What if I not get selected? Will I be able to answer my question the way I have thought?
Yeah.
Will I be able to answer the way he's asking? Or these are the questions that always perpetuate our mind before we reach the actual interview. We have to think that, see, whatever I have prepared, I'll be able to put it out, irrespective of the fear and stuff. So it all totally depends upon the preparation that you have done, not only the technical preparation, but the preparation I'm talking about is, have you ever indulged into previous mock interviews? Have you ever indulged into group discussion? Have you ever spoken in front of class? How often have you done that? Have you done once a week, twice a week, once a month, once a year, or never? So if
Like,
you keep doing these things, you'll feel less nervous as compared to the people who have not done. So this is what I think is, and also the confidence, also the mentality thing depends. It does depend. You have to think. You have to tell. It's like,
I
why
think
should I be feeling nervous?
this varies from person to person, like how their perspective
Exactly.
see,
Mhm.
how they how they develop their skills over the time, like over the 4 years, how they develop these cultural and activities, co-curricular skills apart from academics.
Exactly. If you notice someone that is damn confident before reaching, before reaching to the interview room, you will see that this guy is not only confident here only, but this guy has already done some good work in class also. Not I'm talking about the
Yeah.
academics. Guy has
Okay.
shown up in front of people. This guy has already participated in group activities. So mm, nervousness is not that much barrier for this guy. So yeah, practice is the thing that you have to do.
Okay. So very good company for you. Now let's move on to next aspect of video, that is about, let's talk about something called data science and awareness that's been created
Yeah,
by the
I've seen much of your videos on data science stuff, and
okay.
I want to ask you about this. You are so much fascinated about this data
Yeah.
science technology and algorithm and stuff. So what are you, Malab, why do you feel that data science is something that fascinates you? What is there in data science that pulls you towards that? Tell me something. I mean,
See,
tell us something
actually,
about that.
basic offenses, my basic affirmations and influences with AI. Like many people say, actually, while I was in my middle standard, middle school, and lower middle school and upper middle school, I definitely came up with an idea like AI would definitely rule the world. Definitely, that's going to happen for future, for sure. But how the way approaches, it's the unique point. Like it's not like data science is the only way by which AI is incorporated within us. Many ways are there, but in today's trend we see data science as a tool, because now if you see, like data science actually started in late 1980s and it came in power into 2000, late 2000s. Like now, within a span of 4 to 5 years, we see everyone is about to become a data scientist, not a software engineer or an hardcore engineer, IoT specialist. But why the peak is, the community is being over widespread and over the globe. Like people are definitely contributing to the open source community. Like I have also contributed some of the my courses, like some of the my projects in the open source community. So what happens is people basically go to a technology where the demand is very high, and they make the demand creep until it's none there. So it happens, and data science is a vital role where we can completely play with data. Like everyone is generating data. There's no point that we can say that it's not generating data. Likewise,
Huge
if
amount of data.
we want
Huge
to
amount. Yeah, yeah.
play with data, definitely we need to study about data. And studying the data is not a very easy aspect. Like there are machine learning algorithms, deep learning, etc. techniques are there, and all these tools are being developed over the past 3 4 years, because the technology boomed like an enough, like YouTube is being boomed. We as a
Yeah,
creator know better than that. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
as a consumer also, you can see, once the internet is being widespread over the society, we have a greater influence on the YouTube. And now YouTube is becoming a profession for many of the youngsters also, as per in India also. So this data science is basically a data driven approach that every company wants to follow, just to incorporate an project assumption, or just to increase their profit. Firstly, data science was just a basic element of this analysis of data. Like if I go to market, I'll just get a GPS location of my home to data. I'll just that the company would definitely sell this GPS location to the particular Google, and they would make money by showing me ads. But now it's not up to it. People are recommending it. Many people are contributing, and when contribution comes in, people usually, the crowd increases. So, like in data science, we have many languages. We have now Julia as a programming language, as a third priority programming language coming. Python is a base programming language, and we have R programming for data visualization, etc. So my affirmations is I was always an aspirant of AI, like how AI could rule us. So this made me driven here this in this domain, and here we have continuous research going on 24 by 7 365 days, where we can easily learn. And more sophisticatedly, the sources were previously paid, and now these sources are available for free over the internet. Like you can visit
Yeah,
tons of websites are there, and there is a good stat also. Like in every 120 minutes, we generate around 450 websites, out of which 450 websites are 70% websites are about data science only. And people started either with a blog. So this is a proven fact which is being given by the data of 2019, this Forbes article. So they say data science is the most important job in we have in current scenario. So
yeah,
this
that
made me
is for
driven in
sure.
this
Like data
approach.
science, that's
So
great. Yeah, it
now,
sounds
now I
great.
have we can incorporate this both. How a person can involve his physical attribute and physical attitude towards IT industry as per your opinion.
Okay, so what all it takes to get into IT sector, and how, matlab, what kind of
No, actually, see,
traits that
fine. Let's
traits.
be, let's not any open. Let's open all the secrets here. So it's not about key. See, people usually say you need to study BE computer science or BTech computer science, and if you know the area where you are located, the people say so-called BTech. It's okay, Bachelor of Technology. That's the basic criteria to get into IT industry. But in South, in Chennai, where I am residing, is we call it as BE. There is just far difference between the both. But
Yeah,
still, people
yeah,
what they
yeah.
think is IT industry requires professional degree only for hiring, and the BSc graduates etc. are also applying for it. But that these people see them as a more preferred one than those people. But even though in today's era that people are more proficient than us, I don't know how they are learning extracurricular activities and all. But this can be changed, like model can be also changed, like people's perspective can be also changed. So my opinion is how we can incorporate this both into a perfect candidate. Like I need to apply for interview, I need to add the both skills.
You see, if you think, I mean, like if people are thinking that they need a degree or something, or they need a bachelor's or engineering, a BTech degree to get into the IT sector. See, the thing is that now companies are shifting onto the technical stuff. If you have the skills, right? If you have this, if you are able to help company in one way or the other, they are actually looking for those people who can help them, to solve their problem. They're not looking for degrees anymore, right? But yeah, there is a process, there is a structured process. If there is a campus recruiting thing, then you will definitely be asked to, showcase your degree or showcase your percentage. If you are less than 50%, you'll be already filtered out of the league. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I think, see, there are companies who are directly like open campus placements. There are hackathons, there are coding contests, so that they will be able to filter out the real talent irrespective of the marks or the GPA that they have achieved, they have gotten in the university exam or the 12th board or the 10th board, right? So they
Yeah.
are directly filtering the talent out through these hackathons, through these platforms like Hacker Earth, CodeChef, HackerRank, and like many more uh, coding platforms like that. So as far as the recruiting part is concerned, if you have this right skill set, if you're able to solve the relevant problems that company is facing, right? And if you're able to meet their criteria, if I say, I mean the technical criteria, not the marks and not the GPA and degree stuff, right? If you feel that you're not capable to get selected, if you're not fulfilling the criteria of getting selected into the company through your marks, or marks is a hurdle. If you have not enough marks for that company, like 70 or 80%, you don't have, just go through these platforms, attend the hackathons or attend the contest that they are running, right? They'll be directly hiring you if you find them, if they find you potential enough. So I think there should be less craving. Just focus on the skills. If you have really got some relevant skill, you will be definitely recruited. There is no rocket science like.
So many more tips are yet to come, and this is just a sample from you. Like actually, Zishan is a
Hope
very
so.
book reader, and he used to read many books and all.
No,
So
not really. Like I just have started reading book when this lockdown thing happened. I mean, my friends are into, they are literally bibliophiles. They are actually into book reading stuff. uh, there are people, right? So they are into and stuff. Like, why do I read that? Like, I don't think this is anywhere relevant to me. So I thought I should be also reading book, you know, but I thought I should be reading something that will be eventually helping me out in one way or the other. So I started searching for books. So I focused more upon the confusion or the chaos or the question, you say, for that matter, that was going inside of my head. And I
okay,
started picking books. I started picking books so that it can any way help me, sort out the problem. So I can show you the number of books that I have, two,
yeah,
three
sure,
books.
sure. That's so certain.
Yeah. So this is, so I'll show you the first book that I have read. This is called Eat That Frog, if you can see that.
Okay, you started with the frog.
Yeah. So this is a very important book for each and every one of us, who really facing, is really facing how to get more productive. This
Hmm.
is a book to read. This is a must read.
Okay,
This will actually tell you how.
this would a mandatory book to read for everyone, for our viewers.
Exactly. I've actually made a video on Instagram about this book, about the takeaways of this book.
Hey,
So
okay,
if you guys have already reached to this part of video, go check out my Instagram account. You will
definitely,
find
definitely. The link would be definitely
yeah.
given in the description box so that Dishan's contribution would be definitely visible to the whole world, as is from my
Oh,
channel. Corporate for me.
so the second book is I actually bought this book and this one together. This says Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude.
Okay,
So this book is written by Napoleon Hill, co-written by Napoleon Hill and a guy called Clement Stone. So I've not completely read this book. I've started reading this book chapter wise. I don't believe you should solely write from the beginning till the end. No, I find whatever chapter I find interesting, I just jump onto that, and whatever I have to learn, I think, and just start reading.
okay.
This was the second book, and
Uh,
the third book that I have for startup guys. This is called Zero to One.
Okay. Zero
So
to one.
this
Yeah, I have
so
heard many positive reviews about this book actually. Like people
exactly. So
literally post it in the social media handles.
yeah, so this book is not something that I've completely read. I'm just reading one of the two, one by one. This book is actually for those who are aspiring entrepreneurs, who are aspiring startup guys. This book is actually something to give a sincere read. It's not like just you're lying
Okay.
on bed and just it's something that you need to give a sincere read to. I'm just trying things out. I'm not that bibliophile. I'm just trying to figure out things
I think
and
you can
just
start a book review system in your Instagram.
let's see what happens if I read that many books. I'll definitely be going with that.
And
Actually, I had this
definitely,
thought of reviewing one book a month, but I don't think I'll be able to finish off one book each month. If I can, then I will definitely go for it.
okay, yeah. And definitely we'll again have a collab in our channel so that it could
Sure,
again
sure, sure,
spend
sure, sure.
important
My
time among our
pleasure.
viewers also. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, next is we actually Zishan is a very active participant in his college also. He had an entrepreneur talk with them in TEDx where he had meeting, and he has uploaded his Instagram over his Instagram handle that voice recording also, which he had a chat over the entrepreneurship. And Zishan also provides a perfect guide for the entrepreneurs. Like you can easily watch his you can easily watch his
Got it.
Instagram handle. And yeah, let's conclude then. And it was very good participation of Zishan with us. Hopefully, he had
It was
enjoyed the
wonderful
evening
talking.
with us.
Yeah, it was wonderful talking to you. I hope we can collaborate, like these, so
Definitely.
often, so that we can share our experience out, and also we can eradicate our hesitation of speaking in front of the camera.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. For sure that now during this lockdown we get to this only by videographing and uploading videos and thing. But for sure, when we will meet, we'll arrange a meetup for a physical, and we'll just meet each other when the situation comes
Sure,
normal.
sure. Yeah,
And
sorry to interrupt you, but one thing that would like to add, because it's the last part of the video, as we just mentioned about the camera thing. For those of you who are watching this video, and if you think that you have a public speaking fear, or if you have a fear of facing people, you're not able to speak in front of people, your phone is your friend. Make this a friend. Start recording things, whatever you are good at, and even if you're not good at anything, just randomly start recording videos and start putting it out on social media or your friend circle. By doing that, you'll actually, what happens when your camera is switched off and when you're just speaking like that, you'll be very comfortable, like, oh, you'll be fluent enough, flawless,
yeah,
once your camera is switched on, your mind will be blocked. It will be like, choke, what to speak now, what should I be speaking? Because when you switch on your camera, not only the camera is watching you, it seems that the entire people are watching you, that you will be uploading videos for. So make your camera a friend, start recording videos. I can bet on this, that 1 month of practice or 2 months of practice will help you get rid of your uh, camera hesitation or people's hesitation at a great extent. I can bet on this. I have improved my this public speaking thing through this a lot. So at least this I can tell people to follow and start participating in public speaking event more and more, irrespective of you're good or not. At least drain out your hesitation so that you'll be able to prove things that you are good at. Because most of the time what happens is that you are good at something, you are skilled enough, but because someone has good speaking skills, someone is confident enough,
they
even after
outshine.
not having they outshine you, because you are not able to put your knowledge out. And
Yeah,
one line again, I don't want to sound so professional, but one line again I would like to tell you
no,
that
it
the
always looks like
product
a person when you talk.
the product which is said to be the best is not the best product. The best product is the one which is marketed right way. So
Okay.
you know so when you are able to put your thoughts out in a way better way, then people will able to recognize that. Otherwise someone else is going to outshine you, and you will be still dying with that thought, that why did I not show up, why did I not eradicate my fear of public speaking. If you are watching this video right now, you should pick your camera and you should start doing stuff, random stuff, irrespective of
I think
what will you
that's
do of
the
this in
secret
future.
of energy of Zishan Ali.
I have overcome this, gradually. It's not like that, today only. It took me 2 years. I can say that. Yeah, it took me 2 years that I am, whatever I'm speaking, I don't think that I'm very good speaker. No, I still have a long, whatever I think I'd be, becoming one day.
the,
It's just
the
the
journey is
1% of
the
life.
journey is so certain that people can't predict it, and we can also. It's unpredictable one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have to just keep striving for the big, and whatever happens for your best. Just remember,
Yes, definitely.
strive for the big, target for the big, and things will happen.
Aim for big, achieve more bigger.
It happens. The mindset actually changes when you
Yeah,
target big. It's not only about the life in general. It's about anything. For example, if you aim to be 8 hours a day and you actually mean it, it's not like I just plan to read 8 hours a day and you're watching TV and binge watching stuff. No, if you say that I will be reading 8 hours a day, you mean that you will actually read 8 hours a day, and you will aim for 8 hours. You will actually be able to read 5, 6, 7. But you ended up doing good now. If you have aimed for 4 hours, it will be 3 or 4. It's always better than it would have been than not aiming big.
if people proceed with the step-by-step manner, like Zishan proceeded, and we can just hope from our audience that people will definitely helpful from this video, and definitely like they will be growing like
I hope
Zishan.
so. I hope so.
Our efforts would definitely be matter for them and for us also. And so
Yeah,
hopefully, yeah, this is a wonderful collab that we have from Zishan Ali. Thanks for his one allocating time for us in the channel,
my
in
pleasure.
us
My
precious
pleasure.
time. And we have definitely future plans for a collab. It's up to Zishan how well
Sure,
the plans are
sure,
executed,
sure,
and
sure.
how he is free.
I
And
am
more important, he is free
I'm
from his
always
busy
ready.
schedule. Okay.
No
So
busy schedule. No busy schedule I have, yeah. Like
that's actually a
Adit bhai,
very kind gesture of you to welcome in our
oh,
to say no, no, not to know for a friend and of a creator for a, especially for a creator, you can say. The
I am
difference is
also a
actually
creator.
the difference
I
that
am
there is
also
very
a creator.
thin line between me and Zishan as a creator. Like I am a creator in
Mhm.
YouTube and Zishan is a creator in Instagram. So
Yeah,
the way Zishan is growing is like very much good enough, and he's always welcome for his
actually
welcome
not. The
videos.
thing is, actually, I have not got enough followers. I don't even know. I just, it's 250 followers or so because
Okay.
I'm not spending too much time out there on building my followers. I'm just focusing on the content. So I would wish that more followers grow and I'll be able to put out more content and content. So
Definitely.
yeah,
Actually, everything starts with a bit of drop only. No? If we are
exactly,
something
exactly.
if something is being started, it's not overnight growth. It's been a tedious process, and over the years, the people contribute to it, and definitely the results are awaited for you. There is
Of course, of
no
course.
doubt about it that. Okay, so yeah, let's conclude this video here, and
Sure,
hopefully
sure,
you
sure.
can get a positive feedback from Sichan also. So okay, so till here, if you watch the video, so the sub would be the best to the channel, and like and share this video, and all the handles of Zishan Ali will be definitely given in the description. And let's plan for a next collab description box. So let's plan for the next collab, and I'll just await for the collab with Zishan. Okay. Ishan,
Sure, sure,
give
sure.
a sound
Anytime.
bye for our audience from your side.
Sorry, I couldn't hear this.
I want you to give a sound bye for our audience from your side.
Okay, so my way of saying bye would be a little different. Sorry to bother you. I would just say, because I've learned this thing from people that I actually implemented this. Three things again. It would sound so irritating, but yeah, again, pick up the camera, show up more in front of audience,
Okay.
and 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 start listening to the podcast. I forgot to actually
Podcast.
mention. Start listening to the podcast. It's gonna help you in. I'll definitely say that bye to your audience, and we'll soon meet in any of the conversation that we plan.
Sure, sure. The people will incorporate the suggestion given by Zishan Ali. Okay, so yeah, let's meet up then. Okay, Zishan, bye. Have a great day ahead.
Zero